Welcome to Make It Submerged, an Australian Survivor podcast. I'm Kirsty.
I'm Sophie.
And I'm Will.
So we're down to top 4 this week, and as always we have lots to talk about. But before we dive in, if you haven't already, follow the pod so you don't miss out on any other episodes. And if you enjoy this episode, leave us a comment and let us know. We would love to read it. Right, so to quote JLP, let's get on with this thing.
Let's get on with this thing.
Let's get on with this thing.
Let's get on.
Week 8, we're nearly at the end.
So close.
This is the penultimate week. I can't quite believe it.
God.
Can you?
What are we going to do without this podcast in our lives?
I don't know.
Have more free time.
Yeah, exactly. So we open up then the episode 1 of the week. I'm kind of getting like this vibe, you know, when it goes down to the top 6, 5, 4, it's a real like eerie vibe around the camp.
It feels,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, it feels like so empty, like a ghost camp. A ghost camp. Like everyone's gone. It feels quite lonely.
Yeah.
I always think that as well, you know, when it's just the final 2 and they're just on their own.
Yeah.
Same.
Lonely.
It's kind of like, you know, when you go on holiday and then like you're the last one to get picked up and you're just kind of there, like in the surroundings of like what's been a great time, but you're still there.
I hate that. Like we went to this camping thing ages back and like we stayed like a day later than a lot of people and everyone was just like packing up. And then that final morning, it was just like a desolate space.
Yeah, very
Ghost town.
eerie, like last morning of Glastonbury.
Yes.
We've got a lot of chat from Miles in these opening scenes about the graduate alliance. He's saying postgraduate strong, kind of thinking, okay, he's wanting to take all 4 of them to the end. And then he turns around in a confessional and says, but maybe not. If we break it, it'll probably be me that breaks it. So we know already he's looking to cause a bit of trouble.
The foreshadowing.
Exactly. Miles in this episode is quite keen to get out Morgan.
He wants to keep Morgan.
Yeah. So he's doing a lot of groundwork with Zara to ensure that Morgan stays in. And I think they want to take out Kaylin at this point as well, because Kaylin's obviously been on a bit of a winning streak. They're saying if he loses the immunity, they'll be keen to get him out this week.
Yeah, one thing I noted as well is AG says paranoia is so high right now at the camp.
It's rife in there, isn't it?
I think when you get down to so few people, it's unavoidable, right? It's like you've not got the comfort of your alliance anymore. You're just going to be stuck with a load of people who are all going to have to vote each other out eventually.
Yeah, and I know it's like this postgraduate strong alliance, but like, how many votes have they even done together? Like 2 or something. Like,
exactly.
And none of them actually trust each other.
It can only go so far as we see. Anyway.
As we see, yeah.
I really like this kind of soundtrack that they've got this season, which like plays into the whole paranoia thing. It's kind of like a TikToking kind of soundtrack. Do you know the one I mean?
No.
Not the exact one, but they have definitely been on it with some more interesting...
Can you sing
I don't even think I can do a rendition of it because it's so like abstract.
TikToking?
Yeah, it's kind of like the sound of a clock ticking. I'll have to find a clip and share it.
I can just hear like countdown in my head.
So we know from pretty early on that Miles is kind of keen to do a big move this episode, which is what we like to hear as we head off to the immunity challenge. Immunity this week, water-based. Well, we're in the ocean. We've got 3 balls each, and they've got to kind of do various things to get the ball along to the end challenge where they need to use a big stick to get it up into a net.
Yep, and Morgan does not want a peach-coloured ball.
She was very adamant. She did not want peach again.
See, when she said that, then it cut to her with it was like the orange ball, but I was like, is that the peach
I
one
wondered
she didn't
that,
want? But then we see like Kaylin with the peach one.
Yeah. It would have been perfect.
I wonder, why does she not want the peach?
It sounds like she just got it every time, I think. She wanted something different.
Maybe bad luck.
I love these little insights you get into stuff that you don't usually see, like about the colour draws and stuff.
Yeah, same. Also made a note, this challenge, JLP knee deep in that water. No pontoon.
No pontoon.
He's properly wading in that.
Waded out.
Man of action.
The dedication.
The commitment, I know. Outstanding. I mean, we don't really expect anything less from JLP.
When times are tough, sometimes you have to make sacrifices. And JLP even willing to sacrifice his pontoon.
Yeah.
Do you think because of budget cuts?
I mean,
or is it because it was like moving through the water?
I was wondering, but we never really saw him wading like out to that end bit, did we?
I guess he just didn't think it was worth his while because they'd all be... I don't know. He could have at least had a boat, you think. Or he could have had that rubber dinghy from the previous challenge and like the production team could have been pulling him into shore.
winching him in.
Yeah, do you remember when they had to swim out and like memorize those puzzle pieces?
Oh, like the boy.
There was like a rubber boy. It was a boy, was it? And then they had to hold on to it. But they could have had a rubber dinghy for him. They could have been sat in it.
And they could have had like one of those rafts that they've had to build before, you know, and there's like a raft challenge.
Yeah. You wouldn't want one of the ones that they'd built.
Definitely not Aganoas. It's an opportunity missed. So JLP, yeah, he's committed to the cause. Quite a good challenge. I quite enjoyed this one. What did you think?
Yeah, we're back with the poles.
Back with the poles, yeah. This time they've got like a little speed bump, I think JLP calls it. You know, like a little bump in the road.
Oh, he does, like speed hump, yeah.
Oh my God, that looks so difficult. Is this when you were trying to shove those balls up that thing?
Yeah, and get it in the net at the end.
That's a proper JLP line.
Yeah, I know.
Trying to shove those balls up that thing.
He was quite low on the ball-related.
He was unusually, non-innuendo-y.
Maybe he's balled out.
There's been so much balls.
So many.
Balls and poles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did like when he said Kaelin's on the end game.
Oh, yeah, he did.
That was nice.
Yeah, I liked that. I quite liked the bit where Miles comes over and he's like, yes, it's me. Hello, I'm here now.
Oh, yeah.
And then he was like, there's a new challenge enthusiast in town. Yeah. And then was Miles narrating again? I'm sure he was narrating again. Miles is struggling to get the balls.
He was going for like just all out speed on that ball pushing bit. And it was paying off.
Yeah,
he very nearly won. I was so torn in this because obviously you kind of want to see Kaelin win like 6th immunity record break, but also I really wanted to see Miles get an immunity win. I felt like he really deserved
I
that.
really want to see Miles get an immunity win. I really hope that we see it.
I think it could be leading up to that. Because he really needs it next episode.
It would just be such like not even a comeback story, but you know, it's like classic.
It's just such
rising
a big...
from the bottom, finally wins immunity.
Yeah.
Played from the bottom, now he's here.
Yeah.
Such a
just
big...
when he needs it the most.
Oh, yes, just when he needs it.
But...
Oh, absolutely. And there's been a lot of like, editing around, like Miles nearly wins immunity but doesn't. So you'd think, surely this is leading up to a win next time.
We can only hope.
Yeah, I'm hoping
so. But yeah, that looked so frustrating trying to do that challenge.
I would.
So frustrating.
Like, was the speed bump the gap? Was that
No, it was like a little raised bit.
It was an actual like speed bump, and then you had the bit where the railing. The gap was
at the start, so the gap looked really difficult. Then it was the speed bump, right? And then the bit where the railing.
There was a gap in the railing,
and it was like right at the top, so they're probably having to use like basically just one hand, like to navigate at the top. It looked very difficult.
I've got a question for you. How many attempts do you think it would take you to do that?
The limit does not exist.
I mean, the challenge would be over and everyone would have gone back to camp by the time I finished.
Everyone would have flown home.
Yeah.
The series would be over.
Yeah, it was like an episode 2 challenge, but by the time I finished, everyone's gone.
You would be the sole survivor because you wouldn't be back at camp for anything.
I was like, remember that guy Will? Was it? Like, whatever happened to him? Turns out I've been playing the long game, back at the challenge.
So Kaelin wins.
So Kaelin wins, yeah. 6 immunities in a row, which, by the way, is not just an Australian survivor record, it's actually global survivor.
Really?
Oh, he's beaten Brookie.
Brookie. And whoever else had 5 as well. So very good achievement.
Yeah.
So Kaelin's out of the running then to be voted out. He's won the necklace, which kind of ruins Miles's plans. Miles's plans are in tatters. So he has to think again.
And we've got AJ describing the vibe at camp. As gruesome.
Gruesome. I made a note of that.
I loved that.
I
so
did.
much. Gruesome.
Why was it so gruesome, I wonder?
I think, was it like the paranoia, was it? Like I don't know, really.
Maybe it was the whole, like, the paranoia, the fact that there's only 6 of them left. So
Five,
kind of like what we were saying at the start, you know, and it's all like everything's old, people have left. It just feels grim. And I guess people know at this stage, like, you're going to have to start cutting your friends.
Yeah, and I think they're all thinking, Kate Morgan, obvious choices, but they can't agree on which one to get rid of, because AJ doesn't want Morgan to stay in, because he's correctly predicted that Miles might want to bring her to the end.
I made a note on this. AJ is reading Miles so well.
He really is.
Everything Miles does, AJ is then saying to Kaylin, Miles is going to want to be doing this because of this, this, and this in this episode.
In this episode,
we know
I was going to say, yeah.
But in this episode, he's got the read dead on.
As a poker player.
And also, Kaylin's worked out Miles has an idol.
Yeah.
Just by the fact that Miles isn't frantically searching for him.
Yeah. Again, a great read.
So Zara's got a very set agenda. She has been trying to get Kate out for the last God knows how long.
Countless.
And she says, I can't with Kate. She's got to go. And she's so set on Kate, right? Because she thinks they have similar skills for the endurance challenges. Yeah. So she thinks that's her main rival.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like, I don't know about this, because I almost think that Kate would have been Zara's best person to take to the final 2 because they're similar.
And
she would be able to sell her game more, maybe.
And also, you actually think, if Kate did win the final immunity challenge, she might be quite likely to take Zara with her.
Exactly. It feels like more of a risk to get rid of Kate at this stage for me. But Zara,
she's set.
She's got the blinkers on.
I wonder if it's like, that thing that's been just recurring through this season where people just want someone out and no one else will jump on it and do the vote they want.
Yeah.
Like they're always like, wait to the next vote, wait to the next vote. I think she's just seen her arse with it and it's like, ugh, I am getting her out.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you're right. We also have AJ trying to sway her away from Kate and to vote Morgan instead, because he's convinced that Miles is going to take Morgan to the end game. Again, Zara pretty much not having any of this.
No, she says she won't hear anything else about it.
Yeah. I really like that shot we got of Kate like creeping in the bushes. Oh, yeah. That conversation.
It seemed like it was going to lead to something.
Yeah, I thought it was very
really
creepy.
Thought she was about to find an idol or something.
Yeah, I was... Yeah, we also got the very heartwarming moment.
I loved this moment.
Yeah.
So just as a bit of context, I guess, Kate has been told by AJ to vote Morgan, and that's how she's going to be safe if she votes Morgan this vote. But we then just get, it was quite emotional. I think like I was having a few tears in my eyes at this, because we get the confessional of her saying like she just can't, and she's obviously upset about it. I would definitely be the same because they've been through it all together.
Yeah.
And then that lovely scene with Morgan in the hammock and Kate going up to her, and then Morgan just essentially says, you have to write my name down tonight. Like, I want you to stay and try and win against the others. It's either going to be me or you, so I want you to write my name down. I had like an actual tear in my eye. It was so
very
nice.
Sweet.
It was very cute, yeah.
It was very cute.
I really love these like...
a true friendship from it. And like it is fun watching people turn on each other, but it is also really nice when you see two people that are ride or die and they just won't vote for each other.
Yeah, I really like that. It's not necessarily like the best strategy, but
no, it's quite a bad.
Yeah,
maybe not.
But it's how you know that they've developed a real relationship in that game.
Yeah.
It's like such a strong friendship that they came to play a game, but they're willing to throw that away because they've made such a good connection with someone.
I think this is it, and like that just really shows how much Survivor it blurs the lines between a game and like your, I guess, values and your morals. And she just knows she cannot.
I mean, you're going through so much together in that scenario, living on that desert island, eating beans and rice, going through challenges every day, going through scrambles every day. It's like mentally and physically exhausting.
Yeah.
Having late nights at tribal.
Yeah. Hours of tribal council. And you form bonds with people. It's inevitable.
Yeah. And those two particularly, because they were like the last two brawny.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it was lovely.
Yeah.
But we actually see them then decide to band together and say, okay, if you're not going to write my name down, what can we do here? And they decide the best strategy for them is to go to Kaylin and try to pitch the Miles vote.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So a good strategy
Good
from
plan.
them, I think.
Yeah.
I think.
Pitching it as now's the time to make your move
Yeah.
before the end of the game, before it's too late and you get to jury.
Yeah, and I think they've honed in on something which is probably, I think they mentioned an insecurity of Kaylin's that he's mentioned he doesn't have big moves to put on his resume.
Yeah.
So a good tactic from the girls, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
I had a question for you at this point. All right. When does Survivor get into the pointy end of the game? Because I was convinced, right, these are going to be the 2 episodes where we hear them all saying we're at the pointy end of the game now. It's the pointy end of the game. JLP says so. We're at the pointy end. Not one whisper of it.
I know, I'm sure it's roundabout now that we should be hearing this pointy end of the game.
I guess because we didn't see any of that alliance actually get voted out, that it's not the pointy end of the game. It's the pointy end. It's the pointy end of the game when that core group that have stuck with each other to get to that point in the game.
Is that what it means?
I mean, that's what I'm assuming, because that's what that's just my opinion on it. But like, that's what would make sense. Is like you finally have to turn on each other. It's the pointy end of the game now.
Oh, because it was a big like stick, and then they're shaving people off.
I mean,
is that the like analogy?
That's quite a good analogy, but I didn't think of it that way.
All right.
I just because I'd never heard of this pointy end before.
No.
And I always just thought it was like the game starts bigger and then it goes into the point because it's like the end.
I thought it was just the pointy end because it's a sharp stick and
right.
What? And you're stabbing the alliance members and getting rid of them?
That's the way I thought about it. But yeah, it's the pointy end. It's the bristly end.
So do you think we'll hear that next week?
I mean, potentially, because it's the time that everyone has to turn on each other. Frankly, they've tried it a little bit, but yeah.
That will make so much sense. I thought it was a timing thing, and I was convinced it was going to be.
No, I think it's a conditions of what's happening in the game kind of thing towards the end.
Oh, I thought it was a timing thing as well. I felt like, the bottom of the stick. That's
I mean, I could be wrong, but that's the way I saw it. I don't know though.
Well, we will see next week. If
JLP whips out the pointy end of the stick, then we'll know.
Off to tribal council then. We've got to take a minute for Paulie's look because it was
my God.
Oh, what another iconic look.
The eyeliner.
That's
so cool.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I wrote. I love Paulie's eyeliner.
Yeah, it was a fabulous jury entrance.
And I feel like it elicited gasps from the
I saw a meme before.
I think I saw the same one.
Yeah, it was like the jury's like a proper catwalk entrance now with like the people that are still in it, like the photographers on the front row, just like
yeah.
Love that.
Yeah, it was fabulous. Miles also had an iconic tribal look. Where does Miles keep getting these clothes from? Because he's wearing a lot of different
Well, we saw him, I think it was this week, cutting one up. I think he spends half of his days sort of like preparing his next outfit and just like trimming the clothes he's got to make a new thing.
Half doing that, half looking for idols.
Yeah, half making up some cockamamie plan.
No, that's all done in the last 5 minutes.
It's like, I'm going to make things a little bit different.
Priorities. Clothes. Idols. Tribal plan.
I think he actually has a little chat with Morgan and he's like, I'm planning something for tribal tonight, looks wise.
Do you think?
Yeah, I'm sure there was like a little scene between them.
Oh, really? Because you did see one time they both had those cute wee
Yeah, I was going to say, they had the same hair, didn't they?
I love love it. And God, fair play to him. He is working with not a lot here.
Not a lot at all. I mean, we literally see him with a knife hacking away at those trousers to make that split flare that he has.
Split flare.
I don't know if that's the correct terminology, but
maybe he's like getting clothes handed down from people that have been.
Oh yeah, good point.
You know how they sometimes hand down the items of clothing. So maybe, oh God, maybe they're expecting them back, and then Max is going to come back and he's going to find that Miles has like shredded his t-shirt and made it into like a waistcoat.
Either way, it was a fabulous look. I loved it.
Yeah.
Kate was also making me die in this tribal council. She was so funny. The way that she was like pitching, because she was essentially pitching to Kaylin, but she was like saying, the opportunity is here. It's tonight.
It's now. Yeah, I was loving that.
She was so fun. Yeah. So she's obviously pitching that to Kaylin to try to get him to vote Miles, because it felt like it was quite a short chat that they had. We didn't really know whether Kaylin was on board with it.
We get Miles saying a lot of stuff that, like, from the edit, it looks like it's making Kaylin very suspicious.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, Kaylin winning immunity maybe won't be good for me down the line.
Kaylin's like, what? I know, Miles was stressing me out in that tribal.
I made a note. Kaylin looks very concerned.
He looked very worried. Rightly so.
Yeah, rightly so.
So we get JLP then. Tonight's going to be a little bit...
Why? What was the point in this?
No.
I was just like, oh no.
Oh, JLP.
Yeah, it was so close to the end. How can you whip out something a little bit different now?
I know. And it was just an additional immunity, fine, but it's not exactly...
And it didn't even really make any difference in the end.
The only thing I would have liked to feel was like, tonight's a little different. Right, you're all being forced to go to rocks.
Yeah.
Here's the pouch, pick one, done. Can you imagine the uproar?
Oh my goodness.
You know what? I think they've done that like similar second immunity challenge before, but it was like only the three people that came first.
Yeah.
Were the only three that got to vote.
Ferris,
You know, it was like,
wasn't
yes,
it? It was Ferris, Kirby, and...
Well, didn't they do it with...
Aileen, I think.
Didn't they do it with like Simon and George?
Yeah, they did do it. Was
that massive, exciting tribal.
The tribal.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm kind of forgetting that.
Of all the ones to use as an example.
I know.
Well, this was not as exciting as the one with King George.
It wasn't.
No. But you know what I will say? I quite like that nighttime tribal setup. You know, where it's like lit by the torches.
Yeah.
Because it feels quite like...
Eerie?
Survivor After Dark. Kind of. 'Cause you know, all the challenges are usually in the day.
Okay.
But this time it's like, it's like a night setup. It's like dark,
like a special
glowy,
episodes, like when you're watching the soaps and they have evening episodes.
Hollyoaks After Dark.
Neighbours After Dark, you know.
You know what it reminded me of is, I can't remember who it was, but in an earlier season when she had to go into the mangroves to try and find the super idols. That was really like cool. And she's
my God,
lurking through the mangroves trying to find like...
It was
Ziggy
creeping around the trees all bloody night. Ligger was like, it's going to be all night, hours and hours.
Did she ever find it?
She did.
She did. That was wretched. There was no light, nothing.
It was like a swamp.
Yeah, it was.
It was just her and one camera crew member.
Yeah.
If it was me, I'd have been saying to him, well, we just sack this off. This is...
He drew the short straw to record that. Yeah, she'd just be like, so if you tell me where it is, we can both go home.
Yeah.
What a thankless task. Schlepping around that swamp trying to find this.
Horrible.
I can't even remember what the outcome of that was.
She found it.
But did she use it well, or...
I can't remember.
It could be split in two, I think.
Yeah, or it had to find... Yeah.
Or it was the only... I can't remember.
Well, we digress anyway.
Yeah.
Survivor knowledge on point as always.
Another thing I liked about this, it was like...
you seem to like a lot about this.
I feel like it didn't really serve a purpose, but there were elements about it that I enjoyed. I enjoyed that there was a second immunity necklace.
What did it look like?
This is an exact replica.
They could have swapped them out, but done the same. I guess they have a backup prop.
Oh my God, in case it gets damaged.
Yeah, or it washes away into the sea.
What would happen, right? If, Kaelin's won immunity. Say Miles just
throws
jungle rats over, snatches it, flings it into the sea.
Wow, I'm sorry, Kaelin. That's no immunity for you.
No one's got immunity now. Because we have seen in the past, they can hand over the necklace to someone else. So if they're not wearing it, then
they put it up on that little hook when they get back to tribal, don't they? So
there's always the special idle hook, isn't there?
Yeah. Did you just say if Kent threw it in the fire?
Yeah, Kent would have thrown it in the fire. Creeping around whilst they're all doing their rice and beans,
creeping around while they're having an alliance chat.
Yeah,
everyone's off at the well. They come back guys, where's the immunity necklace?
Goes for a nap, wakes up from his nap, comes back, flings that in the fire. What would happen? What would happen?
This is it. So they need to have the backup.
Do you think that's in the rule book that you can't throw the immunity?
Oh, I thought you were going to say that they needed a backup.
Yeah, and even if you did,
you'd be in.
I think they'd honour it.
Yeah.
You'd be in so much trouble.
Yeah. I think they
Trubby wubby. You'd be like shaking going into tribal, waiting to tell JLP what you'd done.
JLP's there. He knows what's happened. Yeah. But he's waiting for you to tell him.
And he's not even mad, he's just disappointed.
Yeah. Oh, the horror.
So yeah, very well could be that. And then they're like, oh, we haven't needed to use the prop. Playing in a second immunity challenge,
why
then
not?
We get to use the necklace.
Oh, but see, when you saw it was another one of those balancing.
Balance the thing on the thing and don't knock the thing. Ugh.
I knew it was going to be that because there's not enough room in that.
No,
an obstacle course.
It could have been a throwaway.
It could have been a very short.
It was when Ferris did it. It was like kind of throwing thing, wasn't it? They just had to get
they could have made fire.
Yeah,
true.
Although you don't want to deprive the fire drama that could potentially happen in the next.
That's true.
Couple of episodes.
You know what? It's made even more annoying by the fact that the next episode, the challenge is another balancing one.
Yeah.
They could have done a quiz on the contestants.
Oh, that would
they could have brought that back.
Yeah.
Don't know.
I don't know anything about these people and I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, they missed quite a few tricks, I guess. Miles was really stressing me out in this challenge because he was going so fast and he was so confident. I was like, he's not going to be able to do it because of the way the edit was. I could tell it wasn't quite time for someone to win. He was so, and I was like, he was slowed down.
He was pressing JLP because JLP at one point says Miles is playing it fast and loose.
Yeah, I always think Miles didn't really care. He was like, I'm going to try, but it doesn't matter to him if he won or not.
He actually could have been at risk that night, though.
Oh my God.
He wasn't, yeah.
What did you think about there being a timer on it?
Yeah.
Highest stack wins. JLP did not want an even later night than it was.
I know, right?
And also, the jury weren't there to watch, so they
were just sat back at the council area for 45 minutes. What are they doing?
Come on, at least bring them in. They could sit in a circle. Yeah. Do you remember when Haley went against Baden, the Redemption Rock?
Yeah. They all got to watch.
Yeah. The rest of the tribe. Just bring them in. Have it
have them jeering and...
Yeah. Have it an amphitheatre set up and just have it in the middle or
Oh yeah, that would have been good. They could have bought banners and stuff.
Yeah.
They wanted to win.
Oh gosh.
What did you think of Morgan telling JLP to shush?
I liked that a lot.
Well.
Because
I liked his commentary on it.
It must be so frustrating when you're trying to Morgan's like shush.
Don't jinx me.
It's not helpful.
I know, because you've got to have so much focus at that moment.
What did he say when she says Morgan's telling me to shush?
Yeah, it was exactly that. It was something like that. Morgan, not happy. She's telling me to shh. I think he did the finger as well, to the lips.
Yeah.
Another thing I noted was when they first came in and saw the challenge, Miles said, "Oh, for God's sake." And I was like, yes, Miles, this is what I'm thinking too. Another stupid balance block nonsense fiasco.
Fiasco, yeah.
Well, we get at the end then Zara and Kate basically level pegging.
Zara did say Kate was her main rival.
Yeah. Turns out she was right.
She wasn't wrong. So then Zara puts one of her cards upright to make it taller than Kate. And I don't know if this was the editing or genuine, but right at the last second, it falls just that one card.
Yeah.
And Kate takes the win.
Because Kate did the same, didn't she? She had a little
Oh, did she?
Shark fin on the top.
I missed that.
I think,
but
anyway.
Either way.
But yeah, it was
so close. And yeah, Kate wins it, which very much needed, I think, from her perspective at this point. But,
oh yeah, she was going home otherwise, right?
well, it's either her or Morgan.
We don't know.
Remains to be seen.
Could have gone either way.
So yeah, then they're leading them back into tribal. I made a note actually that it was quite fun to see JLP leading them in. Yeah, because he has to obviously come back as well.
Oh my God, it's just as if he was at the beach with them and leading them to tribal.
He just comes into tribal and Paulie stood there doing an impression of him in his spot
with the urn.
Yeah. Oh, I'm JLP. Goes back to his seat.
You're at the pointy end of the game. I wish he'd led them back in with a bit of chanting. 2, 4, 6, 8. We appreciate
JLP.
Or a conga. They could have done a conga back
to the tribal music, like the voting music. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun.
Somebody get the maracas.
Oh, that would have been fabulous. Was it this season where they did no, it wasn't a conga. It was that they've had a few little dance things, haven't they?
There was one season where they did do a conga. I have it in my head.
I think there was, yeah.
I'm sure. But I don't know if it's a false memory.
No, I'm sure they did a conga to the...
I remember someone being very unimpressed by the conga. But again, don't know if I'm just imagining
Was this US? I'm sure we've seen a tribe do a conga too.
Oh, please. We need to research that because I don't know if I'm just remembering it because I really want to see it or because it actually...
No, I'm sure it did. I'm sure the conga happened. Speaking of research, did anyone actually go and look into whether IKEA does do a shepherd's pie?
Oh my God, I didn't. Did you?
No.
Oh, I thought that's what you were going to say. No, you know what I did research? What the JLP used to say in the drink.
Oh, of course.
He did.
No one denied that he did.
No one denied that he did, but what challenge was
So the one that I found it on was an old, I think it was a Contenders v... It was one with Matt Rogers in it, basically. And they had 2 A-frames in the water, and then you had to lean with a rope. And then you have to go further down.
Oh yeah,
the knot.
Yeah, I know the one.
And then whenever anyone fell, it'd be like, Matt's in the drink.
What did you search for to find that?
Well, it was very difficult because apparently no one else has asked this question before. So I was on Reddit.
I imagine.
Nothing on there.
It didn't come up on Google AI.
It didn't come up on Google AI.
A list of all the episodes he's ever said it in.
Imagine, that would have been perfect. No, it didn't come up on that. It didn't come up on YouTube. So you know what I had to do?
Go on.
I had to search my memory and think, what sort of challenges would this have come up on? And I thought of that one. And then I went on to my streaming service and went back through the episodes to find the one that it was. So I was that, when you question yourself.
Yeah.
And yeah. And I was going to send you a screen recording of it, but I couldn't on my phone because whenever I went to screen record, when it does, the app doesn't let you.
God damn it.
But yeah, he does say it.
That's dedication. And also I like how you said you couldn't search the internet anymore. You had to search your memory.
Yeah, and that was a big task.
It exists now only in my memory.
Yeah. Back to the tribal council then. Kate has got immunity. And unfortunately, that means that Morgan is eliminated.
JLP leads them all in on a conga line and then they have to update the jury because they didn't get to watch this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Do you think they could hear JLP's commentary? Do you think he was shouting it loud so the jury could hear?
It's being pumped through a PA system.
Yeah. Or maybe they set up a spy shack just behind the
maybe
for all of the jury. So
I would be fuming. I'd be look, I'm on this jury. How am I meant to be able to make a decision when I've not got all the information? I'm not allowed to watch the things happening at tribal.
Yeah, you should be able to see all elements of tribal.
Yeah.
Outrageous. Unfortunately, Morgan's eliminated. What did you think of Kaelin not voting for Miles in this vote? Because I kind of thought that he was going to do it. I thought it would be quite a good resume move for him. I obviously didn't want Miles to go, but I kind of thought good opportunity.
I think it was a questionable move, really. Maybe
or
not.
Non-move, questionable lack of move.
Lack of move, yeah.
Even a lack of move is a move.
I think at this point in the game, Kaelin sees a path to the end and he's worried about doing anything that might rock the boat too much. I think he's confident that basically he's got a good chance of either winning the final immunity challenge or getting taken by someone who does win it.
Yeah.
In his mind.
Yeah.
And I wonder if he's kind of thinking he's got that likability factor with the jury, because I know like a lot of the time when people have been getting voted out, Caelan's been very like, oh, it's not my decision. I've just got to do what the Alliance wants.
Yeah, he's got jury management going for him, for sure. It's just whether he's got the resume to back it up.
Well, this is it, but it depends on what that jury is looking for. I mean, obviously people want to see stuff on your resume.
And how bitter they are.
Yeah, you never know.
Do you think JLP should do like a CV resume class at the start of the season like this? Oh my God. Or do you think he should have like meetings with them individually and talk them through their resumes like a career advisor?
I would love
kind of
that.
like at the end of Traitors when he's like sits them all in a room individually and just like chats through the game
An
and
individual
things like that.
tribal council.
Yeah.
Maybe he takes them into the voting booth.
Yes, or I'm thinking reward challenge when a one-on-one JLP takes you down the pub, the Survivor pub.
Oh my God.
Talks you through your resume.
Oh my God. That would be so good. Because he's seen it all.
He's seen it all.
He's seen it all uncut as well.
Yeah, so it's like when you're doing interview practice with a friend or career advisor.
I think it's in the next episode, or it might have been this one, but JLP says at one point, do you need to make big moves to start fattening up your resume? He says fatten up your resume. Moving on to episode 2 then, we've got Miles chatting away with Zara, and he's floating the idea of an AJ blindside. And this is a very prominent theme in this episode.
It's got to the pointy end of the game.
Yeah.
It is so exciting. Like, I love AJ, but I would have been so here for a big blindside.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. It gets your Survivor blood pumping,
Absolutely,
doesn't it?
yeah.
I'm super excited.
Yeah.
I really liked this. Well, actually, this is in reference to this conversation, but Zara says to Miles, Caelan will be absolutely filthy with us.
Yeah.
He'll be so mad. He'll be filthy.
But like, I mean, Caelan mad, what does that look like?
Yeah, true. Yeah, I can't imagine him being angry at all.
Also, we're on the final 5.
Final five. Back to the chat then. It's a lot of chat of Miles basically saying that AJ's not in his end game. He needs to get him out because I think he's very aware that AJ is his biggest competition. Meanwhile, the theme of AJ this episode is him being 100, if not 1000% certain that Miles is gunning for Caelan.
Yeah.
It's so entertaining to watch this because every time it cuts to Miles saying about AJ, it then goes back to AJ saying, I'm sure he's going for you. He's going for you.
Yeah, and he's like, he's getting the vibe that Miles is going to do something tricky, and he is correct in that.
He's very correct.
It's a good assumption to make.
But he's not predicted the trick.
He hasn't. He's so confident in confessionals. He's literally saying things like, I cannot not win this game.
He said, I'm never getting votes and I'm never going home. If this had come off, it would have been such an actual blindside. And for once, a blindside, not just like, oh, Kate's been blindsided. Like, no, Kate knew she was going to go. Yeah. This actually would have been a blindside.
This is why I was so excited. I really wanted it to come. I didn't want AJ to go home, but I really wanted this blindside just because it would have been so good because he did not see it coming in a million years. You know what is mad, actually? That AJ really... He was quite on the money up until this vote because he hadn't been getting votes and his name wasn't out really. Miraculously. Like, I don't know how that happened, but he's been off the radar for quite a while now.
I know. It never really seems to, I don't know how.
I don't know how
he's not been voted out yet, but
yeah, Miles is on to him. Really like this conversation that we get between Zara and AJ.
When she's running past the different scenarios with him. Like, so say this person wins, what happens then? This person gets a necklace, what happens then?
And every time it's like, Miles has the power. Miles has the power. Miles has the power.
And AJ's like, that's really bad.
Yeah.
And then Zara calls AJ a knucklehead.
Yes.
She is a gift.
She is. She's at her wit's end with those boys, isn't she?
So fed up with them both. And then we also get Miles telling us he wants to take AJ out just because it's a sick move.
Yeah.
He says in spite of, all his like planning and stuff, like, he just wants to do it because it's a sick move.
I mean, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
It would have been a sick move.
Would have been.
Right, off to the immunity challenge then. I'm fuming about this because we had the balancing challenge last night. And then we've got another balancing immunity. One positive I'll say about the balance ones, and I'm scraping the barrel with this, but at least they make it open to people who aren't necessarily challenge beasts, because you can do that without having to be like...
Yeah, but there's plenty of other ways to open it to non-challenge beasts.
There is, but I'm just saying...
Boring balance.
Yeah, like what about that one with the balls where they had to run and time them and stuff?
Oh, God.
That was hideous as well.
That is hideous, yeah, but more entertaining probably.
More entertaining. So why are we getting so many of these balancing ones? This one looks like hell on earth.
They've added that hurdle to it.
Yeah.
To make it even harder.
Wretched.
And the big stick
what was
thing
that?
with the hooks.
Oh, yeah.
You know what it reminded me of? You know when you go to like the fairground and then you've got that hooker duck
Duck, yeah.
It was like basically that, wasn't it? But doubled. Oh, it was horrible. And then it was really, really stressing me out again watching Miles, because he was so close. He's putting the 12th block on when the whole tower tumbles. That's just such horrible viewing to me.
Disaster.
I really get the impression that JLP's like rooting for Kaylin quite a lot in these challenges.
Do you think?
Yeah, I feel like he wants Kaylin to win, maybe.
JLP's playing favourites.
He might be. Or maybe he just wants the glory of that, like...
That record.
The record, yeah, because he's thinking about the press.
The publicity,
afterwards. Yeah.
Well, someone's got to have a mind for these things.
They do. So Zara, in the end, is the one that takes the win. Slow and steady wins the race, as she says, and not wrong. So after the challenge, we're back with the AJ potential blindside. Miles says he wants to take down Emperor AJ. Loved this. AJ, in this whole scramble, is so desperate to protect Kaylin that he's just completely forgotten to think about himself.
Yeah,
he's
completely
no awareness of what's going on, which is good on Miles's part, because he's obviously kept that quite secret.
Yeah, he's just really got it in his head. Kaylin is the only one that's going to take him to the end. He needs to keep Kaylin in. It doesn't even cross his mind that people might be voting, Miles might be coming for him.
Do you think that's true that Kaylin's here? Because I don't even know if Kaylin would take him to the end.
I don't know why anyone would take him to the end.
Neither do I.
Because he's got such a fun, interesting resume.
Yeah. So, it seems strange to me that he would.
I guess they've got a final 2 deal, have they? But I mean...
I guess that's all he can cling on to at this point, because really, like you said, no one's going to want to take him to the end. He's too much of a threat.
I agree.
But yeah, he's blinded by this protector role that he's got with Kaylin. We get Zara and Kate having a bit of a chat, and it was a very awkward chat. I don't know if you remember it.
Oh.
It was just kind of, because Miles has told Kate to vote for Kaylin.
Yes.
Then Kate comes up to Zara and says she's going to vote for Kaylin, and asks Zara, are you voting for Kaylin or are you voting for me? And then Zara's like, there might be a split. And then she's like, okay, so good chat. And then they have like this really awkward hug.
Yeah. Because I was trying to
just
seem
walked
not kind of annoyed that it's actually happening that way.
Do you think?
Yeah, didn't she say she didn't actually want her to vote that way?
She was very surprised because she didn't think that she was actually going to be voting with Miles.
Yeah.
I didn't think she was either.
I didn't. I thought she would stick with AJ.
Yeah, I thought so.
So then AJ's told her to vote for Miles.
Yeah, but she's voting Kaylin. And this is when Zara kind of clocks on that she thinks like everyone on the whole beach is basically voting for someone different.
Yeah.
She realises yet again, she's the swingy.
She's the swingy. Miles is upset then about voting AJ.
I really liked that scene actually.
I
Because again,
did.
it's
very sweet.
It
Yeah.
Humanity of it all.
Yeah, it's
I
just a
know.
really nice like human element to the game again. And similar to what we saw with Kate and Morgan, I was like a bit emotional at this one as well. It was just lovely, wasn't it? You can tell like they are really good friends, and I'm sure they will be after this.
It just must be so hard to separate it.
I think at this point as well, like final 5, now you're not just sending someone home, like you're cutting off their chance of winning that prize money. Like it's all a bit more real at this
Yeah, whereas when you send someone home like week 2 or whatever, it's like, well, would you have made it to the end anyway? Probably not. Whereas when it's this stage, it's like, well, yeah, AJ could have won.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Miles keeps saying like it's like a $500,000 mistake. Like if you make a mistake at that point.
Oh God, the tension and the pressure must just be so high.
And you're getting to know these people and like their personal stories, and you like know probably what they want the money for and stuff.
God, yeah, it must be really hard. I also liked that, so obviously we had the Miles getting emotional scenes, but then we also had him doing this really kind of fitting poker analogy about him making his read and essentially going all in on this move.
You've got to know when to hold them, when to fold them.
Yeah.
It's very true, yeah.
When to blindside.
At the immunity, we get Zara sitting in the middle of everyone. Again, we know that she's...
Oh, do you know what we haven't touched on? I mean, we might not want to. But there's just so much talk about Miles' idol, and everyone is convinced that he is going to play it for Kate.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been interesting if he did do
They all thought that was going to be his trick.
This just shows how unpredictable he is. They all know, rightly so, to predict he's going to do something wacky.
Yeah.
But they can't quite nail down what he's going to do.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, he chose the wrong person to put his trust into for that move. Do you think there's anyone else on the beach that he could have... Do you think she would have gone for it even? Because
I don't know, but I think she would have been...
She would have been open to it.
The next, most likely.
Yeah.
Because she did vote Caitlin.
True.
Because Miles told her to.
I guess he didn't tell Kate to vote for AJ because he was too concerned that they're close and that she would maybe have told him and then flipped it on Miles. But then he could have played the idol. So at Tribal, it's very tense. Zara describes herself as AJ's office manager.
Yes. I was just going to say the jury absolutely love that Miles has another idol.
Yeah.
They are howling.
They're beside themselves.
I think they were all waiting. They're probably all talking about it back at jury.
Yeah.
Like, do you reckon he's got another one?
Yeah.
It's the final time he can play it. They can whip it out.
They're all cackling like,
Yeah. Maybe that's some bets in the background. Like,
I don't even think anyone would have ever betted on him getting 4.
I think they would have done, considering how well and cannily he just managed to pick up idols left, right and centre. I think the odds were pretty good.
picking them up like he's on like an Easter egg hunt.
Yeah.
You know that when there was that scene of him looking for the flint? I was thinking, yeah, going to find another idol.
I was wondering why there was a lot of like fire focused stuff going on. I wrote down, is it going to go to fire? Like there was like kept zooming in on people doing the fire and people
I mean, it really could
flints
do.
and stuff. Do you think maybe next week? I just feel like it's foreshadowing.
Down to final 4, it's very good chance that there's going to be a fire, right?
Oh, my nerves can't take a fire challenge. But they defo would have teased that in the trailer if it was going to go to fire.
Maybe, but it'd be difficult to tease without potentially giving away who is involved.
Oh. So maybe we don't get rocks, but we might get fire, which is, I guess, the next best thing.
Zara votes out Kate then instead of AJ, and the jury look very disappointed.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? It's a good move. Well, I don't hate the move for Zara because she's been wanting that for a long time. But I was very upset to not see a big blindside.
I was upset.
I really wanted it.
Yeah, I love AJ, but I was sad there wasn't a blindside. And I was sad that Miles's game is quite cooked now.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the difficult one. You know, Kaylin and Zara, again, they can see a path to the end of the game without making any hot stirring moves.
Yeah.
So they're just going to play it safe at this point because they're not players like Miles and AJ who are willing to just go crazy and go, you know what?
Yeah.
Let's just vote out the other person. But the thing is, I'm really interested to see how Miles comes out this on the other side. He's still potentially got a partnership with Zara, but it's whether he trusts her now, because she's got no reason now. She's still got no reason to like for Miles.
Yeah, I guess it depends really who she does want to take.
Yeah, to find
further.
2, yeah.
She'll have to go for
3.
Kaylin, surely.
Did you like when AJ was then asking Miles, who did you vote for? Yeah. And Miles is just like, you. Yeah. And then AJ's like, why? Yeah. Oh my God.
Because AJ was like truly flabbergasted when the Kaylin vote came out. He did not see that one coming.
Yeah, and then when his name came out.
Oh my God.
And he's like, I see what's happening. Yeah. Oh my God. I will eat my buff if next episode we don't get a like scene like in the dark after Tribal.
Oh, there'll be a post-Tribal.
There would need to be, imagine.
Oh my God.
We'll post it on the Instagram. Kirsty eating a buff.
I wonder if it'll be to the level of the scroll post-Tribal, because that was my favourite.
I don't think it will be, because people expect it from Miles more. Like AJ knows she's just...
Yeah. And there's not as many people.
Yeah.
Like to get involved.
It's so awkward.
Oh my God.
In fact, we did see on the next time preview them having a dark, like a late night conversation about like, well, yeah, you've cooked your game. Like,
yeah. So we're going to get this. I actually can't wait for these things.
I know. Next week is going to be...
I'm so excited about what's going to happen. The dream, right, is the final 2 being AJ and Miles.
Oh God,
but it's never in a million years going to happen. Neither of them would take the other.
Unless they think, okay, Kaylin's too popular with the jury, we'll take each other because we've like annoyed the jury equally.
But possibly.
Or did you know that whole, I want to go up against the best.
Yeah, which never pays off.
Never works.
Statistically, it never pays off.
They know that it never works.
It's insane.
The only other potential is we get a final 3.
Not unheard of.
Which could be more possible if we do have an even number on the jury to help prevent there being a tie.
So we get one more vote out and then it's a final 3.
Yeah, potentially.
That's what happened, heroes versus villains.
True.
Huh.
Ooh, so many
We'll find out.
I am buzzing to see these next 2 episodes.
Same.
The fallout.
The fallout is going to be monumental.
Miles is just like going to say it like it is, and he's just like, yeah, I voted you.
Yeah. I just hope AJ understands.
He will not understand. I mean, I hope he understands.
You know what else I just wanted to comment on before we move on? It's a brains win, guaranteed.
Hey.
Guaranteed brains win.
Yeah, they've not really...
Just like last time.
Good on the brains.
The rematch.
Turns out the odds were pretty good after all.
Exactly, whoever
Call
said...
back to the first episode.
Yeah, nice. But it's very easy to kind of forget about that part because it never gets mentioned. Brains is going to win. I mean, never gets mentioned.
I feel like it went, like the Brains Brawn rivalry went on longer in the first season.
Yeah, I think it felt like it.
Yeah. Because none of the tribes got on with each other this season.
Yeah, true. They were ready for the mix-up. So yeah, 2 amazing episodes. Next week, the explosive final 2. Buzzing.
Oh, I can't wait.
So, before we wrap up, we like to end the pod with a segment. Well,
we do
from last
now.
Week. Yeah. So last week we introduced a new segment to the pod, Bazzy's Hatty. For those of you that missed it.
Or the Barry's name out of the hat game.
You can choose whichever you prefer. We have got ourselves a replica Barry from season 1 hat, and we draw some names out of it and play a game. So this week we are going to draw 3 names each out of the hat, a mix up from last week. And you need to choose out of the 3 names that you've got who you would most like to be in an alliance with and why.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me get Hatty.
Bazzy's Hatty.
Bazzy's Hatty. Okay, so I'm going first.
3 names. Reveal your names.
First up, I have Laura, Indy,
Okay.
and Nash.
I think I know what you're going to say. Well, actually, I don't know.
Laura, Indy, and Nash.
So you've got two. Well, Indy was almost a coven member, but she wasn't quite. Then you got Laura, the Good Witch, and Nash. I mean,
are you explaining this to me because you think I don't know who the people are?
No, it's for the benefit of the audience.
I'm joking.
A little bit jogging people's memory.
I'm joking. You know I know who Nash is. Okay, right. I would say realistic answer is Laura because I actually think she's a good ally. She's very good at reading other people
and reading their auras.
And I also just think she's good to work with. She seemed to have quite a lot of patience with people when they were up to all sorts of nonsense. And I just feel like she'd be a very solid ally. However, if I was in a scenario when I'd already won a series of Survivor and was coming back as an all-star, I would definitely go for Nash just for the lols because I just think it would be absolute chaos. It'd be so much fun. I would be like, he'd be like way up high with his chaos and I would be meeting him there with my chaos and I just think it would be such a laugh.
It would be such a hoot. You'd maybe be in it for 2 episodes.
Oh, but what a two episodes it would be.
Great answers. Yeah, I think I would have done the same there. Okay, well, 3 names for you.
Bazzy's Hatty, pick your names. We love Bazzy Hatty games.
Okay, so the first name, Ali.
Okay, yeah.
Second name is Morgan.
Oh, should I put my names back in?
No, keep it fresh. Keep it fresh.
Keep it fresh.
Keep it real. And the third name is Kent.
Oh, stop.
So to recap, Ali, Morgan, or Kent. It's gonna have to be Kent.
Oh,
Like from both a strategic and chaos point of view. Either way, it's Kent.
Would you be an accomplice to a hat burning crime?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, you wanna have a bit of fun hat burning, why not?
and then you'd be sat at tribal where Kent's like, so Will and I burned your house.
Kent's just casually throwing me under the bus while hanging out of it.
Oh my God.
Good choice. Good choice.
Well, it was the hat that made the choice, really.
Yeah, you just want to be part of that iconic Survivor move.
100%. May have done
Kent
it later in the game, but you know.
Maybe Kent would let you borrow his leopard print shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Didn't
my
get
God.
suit me.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. Actually, if you knew you were going to be aligned with Kent, you could get one matching.
And then if you throw Miles into this as well, I know Kent was really gunning for him, but say he wasn't. If you threw Miles into this as well, maybe after Kent got voted out, Miles would be like making you additional clothes with this leopard print shirt.
Yeah. Oh, if I should be so lucky.
A cape.
Oh, yeah.
Possibilities are endless.
Like that one on Apprentice.
Yeah.
Okay, my 3.
Bazzy's Hatty, pick your names.
Zara,
Okay. Good first pick.
Kaylin,
Okay. Are you going to get all the final 4? In the,
You're just in the postgraduate life.
Yeah.
and Max.
Oh, they're going to say Miles.
Oh, yeah, imagine.
Jezebel.
Jezebel. I should have put Jezebel's name in the hat. Right. Oh, this is quite a tough one, actually.
Sorry, who were they again?
Zara, Kaylin, and Max.
Okay.
Oh, I'm actually stuck. So, oh my God. You know what? I think I'd be too scared to be in an alliance with Zara.
Really? That'd be a really good alliance, mate.
She would be good.
If you've got some wits about
but
you.
if you, as long as you do what she asks,
Well,
she might.
I think as long as you're not a wild card.
But then again, you would if you were in an alliance. Oh, this is actually a really tough one. You know what? I think I'm going to go for Caleb because I feel like he has demonstrated that he is a very strong alliance member to AJ throughout this competition. So if I was in an alliance with him, I'd like to think he would do the same for me. So I feel like he's a strong contender. However, I have to do a chaos pick as well.
Yeah, if you're doing a fun run.
Yeah, fun run. It's got to be Max. I mean, I don't think you can sustain an alliance with him because he was just too unpredictable. But for the pure joy of it, I'd have to give it a go.
So me and Kent will be burning yours and Miles's hats.
Yeah, and we'll be coming right back for you with our Lady Jezebel.
Yeah, me and Nash should be wearing our idols round camp. Giving you instructions about your social game.
Yeah. Oh, imagine what a lineup that would be.
I love how we all got one chaos pick.
Yeah. That's so fun. And not planned, I might add.
Yeah, no
That makes
rigging.
it sound like it was planned.
No, I know. But you know what it is? Because there's just been so many chaotic players this season that
odds are
pretty high you can get one.
It's not rigged. You cannot be questioning the sanctity of Bazzy's Hatty.
No, we would never.
We would never tarnish the name of Bazzy.
No.
Well, I think that wraps up this week then. And thanks everyone for joining us. And we will see you again for final week next week.
Oh my goodness me.
If you enjoyed listening to this, follow us wherever you get your podcasts. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you thought, what you're thinking of this season of Survivor so far. We're also on Instagram at Make It to Merge Pod and on TikTok also at Make It to Merge Pods. Follow us there.